Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Corner Store Podcast for episode 8. My name is Rob, and here with me we got the fellas. We got Phil and we got Nelly. How y'all doing?
What's good? What's good,
fellas?
man?
Yeah, nothing
We
much,
here
man.
for
Another day of Corona, another day of quarantine.
Yeah, man.
this
This
our
is-
regular
this is-
way of life now, man. Ain't it?
This is a great way to start a podcast, fellas.
You say this is a what?
I said this is a great time to start a podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
Man,
That's
you
true.
in the house,
I mean,
nothing else to
we
do.
I think we ain't seen each other, but we just seen each other recently, Phil. But I mean, prior to that, it's been a good month since everybody kind of been together.
Mm-hmm.
So which means that I gotta change up I'm trying to find places in the house to pod. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy a backdrop. I'm looking at some mics. I gotta set my game up, man. So I'm getting a laptop. I gotta buy a laptop too, because I'm jealous of everybody backdrop right now. So
Mm-hmm.
We ain't doing nothing but stun, man. This ain't nothing.
a little bit.
It's nothing, man. I mean,
I gotta
these are
step-
basics, man. It's just the basics.
Hey man, I'm taking it personal, man. So I gotta set my game up.
I feel you,
I
man.
set my game up. So hopefully by the next pod, maybe next couple of weeks, I'm gonna have my laptop. I had a whole setup in the basement where I can just go down there and do the pod is now, because the way it's looking, man, it's another month.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows how long this is gonna be, man. They keep
We
doing this month by
definitely
month.
in for, what, May
Yeah.
30th, May 31st now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping it'd be over by then, but it ain't looking that way.
All right, fellas, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, it's going to be a short episode because we're trying to catch the 8 o'clock, Last Dance documentary. So if you're going to chime on in, come in and watch, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share the content. So any criticism we'll definitely take, and so we can get better. So that's what it's all about right now. So, so go ahead.
I think maybe we should live tweet or Facebook information as we watching it, so we can kind of conversate through Facebook or maybe through Instagram or Twitter, as the show is watching it. If anybody got any comments after the fact.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I'll probably drop some a couple things here and there through through Twitter and also through Facebook. Because, Cassie and I are going to watch the documentary, live, at 8 o'clock. So I'm sure I'll try, man, to see, if I can kind of try to stir up some shit.
Yeah.
Folks got to add LeBron name into it all the time. So
All the time.
I heard, speaking of, I heard, people compare LeBron and the Jordans, and I heard the best explanation yet. If the Bulls played in this, I think if the Bulls played in this era of basketball, that they probably would lose just off athleticism alone. But at the same time, I think if LeBron played in that era, that the Bulls would beat him, because it was just more physical,
Off of athleticism, Rodman wasn't a top athlete. Scott Pippen wasn't a top athlete. Jordan was a top athlete.
Man, look, dude, them dudes was
Listen.
drinking and doing cocaine all
Okay,
year
think
long.
about it. Okay, think about this for a second. Think about this for a second, though, fellas.
Mhm.
If the Lakers, if the Kobe, Shaq Lakers would have played Golden State, man, they would have gotten blown out. First of all, who Shaq gonna guard? And if he is coming out on a pick and roll,
Who's going to guard Shaq? Who's going to guard
but
Shaq?
three? But last time I checked, 3 is more than 2 though. So
The same thing, the same reason they was able to beat Cleveland would have been the same reason they would have beat them Lakers. They basically had the same makeup.
But I
Lakers
also
and Cleveland.
But I also say this too: if Golden State would have played in the Jordan era, they would have got their ass whooped, just because it was just more physical,
I can agree with that. I think a
And you
lot
can
of people
hand
was feeling like Jordan could have came to this era and dominated. I definitely think he would have been a contender. He would have, he would have definitely did damage.
But think
But
about it, though.
everybody on his team Come on, man. Everybody on the Bulls teams cannot compete in this era.
But think about it, Phil.
He had
Just watching the episode 1 and 2. Jordan played in the era where they was physical. I mean, if you come to the hole, you're gonna get punished.
Right.
Yeah.
You put him in this era when you can't even hand check.
And actually no big man waiting for him in the paint.
Exactly.
But I'm saying it's still a team game, man. It's still a team game. And now you talking about average scores being 120, 140, 150 points, where back then it was 80, 90 points. They was running up and down the court a whole lot less
but the pace of play was very slow.
That's what I'm saying. The pace is a whole lot faster now. So you got to be more in shape in order to just to play the game. And best players now are 5 to 10 years younger than they were then. You're talking about prime players being what? How old back then? Prime players. Bird, Magic. How old was they in their prime?
If you're in your prime, I mean, you're pretty much between 25 to 30. That's your prime.
You look like 28, late 20s. Right. Now you got people in their prime, they 23 years old, man. Come on. You talk about physically.
Well, that's because they won and done. So
who won and done?
No, I'm saying that's like the main prospects that's coming into the NBA. They're like one and done. So
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
They coming into the league. They come into the league at like 20 years old, and by the time they hit 25, you're already an NBA veteran.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, yeah.
Younger, faster, stronger. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it's all fantasy, man. We'll never live in a life where Jordan's gonna compete with the Steph Curry's Golden State Warriors. Unfortunately, that's just all ifs.
Yeah, but let me ask you this though: who is the greatest player of all time?
I think that's
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I think
more rings, better statistics than everybody.
No, he have the same exact rings as Jordan though.
But when you say best of all time, are we talking accolades, or are we talking wins? Are we talking championship? Like, what are we talking about? Because, I mean, every era, I think, had a player where you could consider the greatest. We talk about Wilt Chamberlain, but, I mean, in his era, he was the most dominant player.
He was also 3 feet taller than everybody else playing.
He was a dominant player individually, but he didn't dominate the era as far as winning championships.
Yeah.
But here's why.
So that's what I'm asking. What are the criteria? Because I mean, it's kind of subjective to say who's the greatest player ever. Because
of course it is. It's just a conversation, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
I would say best position player with each position. You could probably answer that question a lot better than just saying who the best ever to play.
Now, this is where I would give Kareem his due, right? Kareem, he is the best basketball player ever. Now, Michael Jordan, he's the best NBA player ever. You see the difference? See, with Kareem, he won in high school, he won in college, and he won just as many rings as Jordan in the NBA. But what makes Jordan greater is because of the way he kind of like changed the whole paradigm of winning. Because remember, 2 big men went before him in a 1984 draft. Because that's what you needed back then to win championships. I mean, obviously Houston did right by drafting Hakeem because they ended up getting 2 championships in the long run. But Jordan had to take a 2-year vacation in order for him to do it. But Jordan, he overall changed the whole paradigm of what it means to win a championship, because there was no way a shooting guard was going to lead the league in scoring and still win a championship. I mean, it was unheard of, back then. So he kind of changed the whole paradigm. So how y'all think about that?
Like I said,
I sip on my peach crown.
I think that.
In fact, let me run and get my drink right quick right
now. All right, go ahead, Nelly.
I think that if we base it off eras, Jordan was probably the best in his era. It's hard for me to say Jordan. I'll say this. I'll tell you this. Then I think Jordan is the most popular basketball player ever.
Okay.
Maybe even the best athlete ever.
Who is that?
As far as the popular Jordan. As far as being popular.
Okay, okay. After you go, let's talk about eras real quick because we're kind of like go in contrast of like who was like king and dominated their era was pretty much from the '60s on to present.
So Marcus, you said Michael Jordan, of course, right?
But no, I was saying was that what I was saying was that I think there's great players in every era. I said
okay.
I would say Michael Jordan for his era was probably the greatest basketball player, but not just basketball. I would say probably one of the most popular play. Even to this day, you can make an argument that Jordan probably the most popular person in the world. Athlete in the world. You can go anywhere in the world.
He's probably the most famous person in the world right now.
Exactly. So, but you can say LeBron is the greatest of his era. If you go anywhere in the world now, everybody know LeBron.
I have an argument that he's not the greatest in his era.
Who? I mean, you got Kobe.
He's gonna say that pretty much he shared his era with other people.
I mean, yeah, I feel you because you got Kobe, but Kobe was kind of Kobe and LeBron era kind of overlap. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
You can say Kobe though. That's probably more of a comparison too. You can go anywhere in the world now.
Because I don't remember how many rings did Kobe win once LeBron came in the league.
2.
Okay.
2.
So not Kobe then. Can't say Kobe during LeBron.
No.
I mean, LeBron, but I think LeBron era might begin. LeBron probably gonna play a good 5 more seasons at this point.
No, he probably done at the 2 more, man. I don't know about
if
5.
If he plays 5 more years, then I want him tested for PEDs today.
Look, man, you see that man, his workout approach, man. I think he's probably the most consistent training athletes in the world.
And he upright. He got a biochemist on payroll as well.
But whatever he's doing, hey, whatever he's doing.
He said, "Whatever he's doing."
Right. Hey, whatever he's doing, he's in good shape, and he's playing right now. So what I'm saying is that he's been in the league. This is 17th season.
Right.
So he's been in the league for a minute. So he probably at the most, to be fair, Phil, he probably played 3 more years. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 3 years.
Okay. About 3 more years. That's 20 years in the league. How many seasons did Kobe play?
Kobe played 20.
Okay, see what I'm saying? So you can kind of say, okay, well, in the last 20 years, Kobe probably was the greatest player of his era. And then you got LeBron. Because it's kind of overlap, but he got 3 years. He got 3 years on LeBron as far as how many seasons.
I don't necessarily. I mean, what makes the greatest player of the what makes the era? The point where they came in to the point they leave.
But like I brought up to you guys before,
era in basketball. Right.
That's what I was saying as far as the criteria go. Does it mean championships? Does it mean wins? Yeah. Does it mean longevity?
Dominance.
I
think most people would probably say dominance.
Yeah.
You talking about the greatest of an era? It's got to be dominance.
I mean, like I
wins championship.
Perfect example. Last Dance, the Bulls era. I mean, from what, early 90s?
That was clear, though.
For pretty much the whole 90s. You can say Jordan didn't retire. He probably would have won another championship, at least one.
All right.
So you saying from pretty much the whole 90s, Jordan dominated.
Right. He kept people from winning championships while he was while did he play full seasons with the Bulls?
And then lose one finals. So you can arguably say, okay, man, that's one of the best players of that era.
Okay.
Then you got the pre-2000s, where you got the Shaqs and the Kobe era,
in the 2000s,
the San Antonios.
Right. In the 2000s, I mean, it would probably be between Tim Duncan and Kobe, as far as in the 2000s. Now, 2010s, I would probably have to say it's between LeBron and I mean, you got to throw D Wade in there because he did win 3 as well. But actually, Wade won in 2006. So, but from 2010 to 2020, pretty much Steph and Bron. I mean, right?
I think the jury's still out for. I think when it's all said and done, that Steph Curry might be the most impactful basketball player ever. Just the way he changed the game.
He changed, right? He
totally changed the game. And just look at those documentaries, the first two documentaries for the Bulls. I mean, it was pretty much, dude. Boston had whole team was down there 7 feet. You know.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, LeBron changed the game too, though. I mean, if you think about how people approach driving to the hole, it's completely different. Everybody drives.
So LeBron is traditionally a power forward, right?
Small.
So is he more small forward? So he can play both positions.
He's physically big as a damn center, but he plays a small forward position.
Okay, who's the small forward for the Boston Celtics in the Bird era?
It was Bird.
Yeah.
Nah, how the hell will Bird guard something like that?
Never, ever would have been possible. Not would have been possible.
And so, like you said, Phil, look, you can't not say LeBron wasn't the best in his era for that position that he played and what he brought to the league. It's unmatched.
You can't sleep on Bird though, because Bird didn't have the physical tools to like be as great as he was. He was just smart as hell, and he had a jump shot. He had good leadership.
I wouldn't call.
He had a high IQ for basketball player, but so does LeBron.
I wouldn't call him one of the greatest basketball players. I don't think so. I call him probably one of the greatest shooters I ever seen.
Bird is one of the best small forwards ever.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say because he ain't black. That's all it is, Nelly. Just
see,
he was like Tony Kukoc of the Bulls. That's why
players got their ass busted because they kept on doubting him back in the 80s.
But I'm saying if you got 3 7-footers on your team that's regularly on the court, and Bird was what 6'9", 11 something. He was a pretty tall dude himself.
He was like 6'9".
Yeah, he was pretty big himself. I mean, how do you defend a team like that? You're gonna constantly have a wing player open getting free shots, because otherwise you got 3 people in the hole that you can just pass to that's just gonna dominate. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? This league now, where you got teams like Houston who don't even have anybody over 6'9" or 6'10" now. You know what I'm saying? Playing really fast ball with all shooters. That's a whole different dynamic than back then. And LeBron's still able to compete with teams like that. He's able to guard every position. You couldn't put Jordan up against Lambeer and on defense. That'd never happen.
I'll say this.
Or Steph Curry for that fact.
If LeBron played in that Jordan, the 90s era, that Jordan Bulls era, he would definitely get off.
Yeah.
But, and I say but, he would definitely pay for it.
You know what? I'm gonna say this because I made a comparison many years ago about his physical size. Like, people call LeBron soft. I get it. The league makes it easy for him to be called soft because if anybody touch him and get a foul, it's just the league now.
And he was a big flopper as well.
But he's the size of Anthony Mason. Y'all know how dominant Anthony Mason was, even though he wasn't no incredible scorer. Physically, didn't nobody want to fucking play with Anthony Mason on the court. And LeBron is Anthony Mason.
Okay.
And a block, yes.
He's bigger than Anthony Mason was.
Okay, I get that. But just say if LeBron would have played against the Detroit Pistons, I'm talking about the Rodman, Bill Laimbeer,
Rick Mahorn.
Right. You got to remember, though, you're saying if he played with them, that would have mean he came up in that era. He would have been dominating. He would have had the same mentality. He would have experienced the same physical basketball game. So you got to take him out of this time zone and map his life as if he grew up in that period. And he still ended up with the athleticism and the shooting ability he has. He would have really smoked them.
Well, listen, I think what makes great players is that.
And I don't like LeBron.
Honestly, I think what makes great players in general is that you can take that same player out of that era, plug them into a new era, and they'll still be great either way. I think Jordan.
I agree.
I think the Jordans, LeBron, the Kobe's, even the who we were talking about earlier. Even the Steph Curry's, for instance, you put them in any type of era, I think they will dominate for the most part. And that's what made great players. You put Bird in that era, in this era right now, and Bird probably averaged 35 points a game because all they doing is shooting threes. That's all Bird didn't miss.
Yeah, so, he was definitely a finesse player too.
Yeah. So I mean,
if James Harden averaging 35 now, I mean, imagine what Michael Jordan would be doing today. So I mean,
I don't know, man.
But see, I think I wouldn't call Harden one of the greatest players. Honestly, I think if he played,
Harden is incredible, man. I hate watching him.
But if he played in the Jordan era, you put Scottie on him, or you put Ron Harper on him, man, they gonna suffocate him.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta stop with this. This generational defense strategy bullshit. I'm so over it. Dude.
You can hand check, Phil. You can hand check back then.
Hand check it. You think people don't hand check in the offseason?
Man, listen,
you think they don't hand check in the offseason? Ain't nobody playing on the streets following NBA rules. When was the last time you played a game outside on the concrete with NBA rules?
Phil, it's bullshit. Never. Phil, it's bullshit. Rob, am I lying? Think about it.
Did y'all see the pickup game with Devin Booker in which someone trapped him and he got pissed off about it?
Let me finish my point for a second.
Okay.
All I'm saying is,
he a kid though.
The only thing that oh my God, what's his name? Harden do for the Houston is dribble, boom, 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 and do all that funk, he fake pump shit. If you put him in that era and where you can hand check him, he doing all that. Man, you can kill all of that. All you gotta do is put hands on him, and all that dribbling shit is out the door. Now you got to get past him.
And that bullshit still back as a travel to me.
And if you do that shit, all they gonna do is undercut him, or they'll give him
a
elbow.
First of all, I
can't touch him now.
Let me put this out here. I can't stand watching James Harden because he is the cheat code. The dude do this retarded crazy shit, and every shot he throw up, no matter where he throw it up from, go in. So if you think that somebody in any era is gonna be anything other than irritated trying to guard him, you wrong. Because he was like Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce was the same way. I couldn't fucking stand watching Paul Pierce play. But he had a way of getting shots off and hitting shit that didn't make no sense. He wasn't athletically built or anything physically, cut. But he was one of them doughy people.
He was the truth. That's why they call him the truth.
Find a way to make the shit go in. And Harden is the same way. I think they bent the rules a lot for James Harden just because he's good for basketball. But, I mean, if you take these players.
He's good for the high scoring, and which the NBA wants.
Yeah. Hand checking came in 2004.
Jordan
was gone in what, 2001?
03.
LeBron rookie year was what? 2000.
03, 04.
03. So he came in right when hand checking went away. So y'all mean to tell me that this dude had no experience with hand checking in basketball? Come on, man. Y'all can't keep throwing that out there.
He came from high school. He came from high school to
hand
NBA.
Check era. He came up playing basketball.
I don't think high school was playing hand check like that. He came up through the AAU circuit. He came up on the AAU circuit as well.
Did they even stop hand checking in high school basketball?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I doubt that they played that way, man.
It's only one way.
It's not like they played real NBA systems, Phil.
That's what I'm saying, though. But they had to follow a system of rules, and it would have been based off the NBA. And it ain't like the NBA was going to introduce a rule, and then all of a sudden everybody pick it up.
I think it's only one way to solve this problem. I think that it should bring hand checking back into the league. And then there we go. Problem solved.
No, that's going to bring scoring down. That's what the NBA don't want, though.
Man, listen. Who's going to stop Steph and Curry from scoring? Who's going to stop Harden from scoring? They're just natural born scorers. They can shoot. That's what I said. I don't think what type of era you put Steph Curry in, or Klay Thompson for that matter, they can shoot. They can shoot.
Screens been in basketball forever. So as long as there's a screen available, Steph Curry gonna dominate. But
exactly.
Look at Reggie Miller. He got off on screens.
It's never been a physical basketball player the size and strength of LeBron playing on the wing. Name one.
As far as big as LeBron that was handling the basketball?
Yeah, before or even now. Name one. That's relevant. Can't.
It's Paul Pierce.
Doughboy. He was cold. Another one I hated watching playing basketball, but not physically.
I mean, Bron's not that far off from being as big as Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi, he understands the ball a lot.
Kawhi smaller than LeBron.
I know. I said right. Bron, he's not that much bigger.
He is the mold for that player.
Okay.
Bron is the mold that Kawhi sits.
Now Magic was skinny as hell, but he was 6'9", handling the basketball like that.
Magic got big later in his career. He was a big doughy dude too, though.
Yeah. Talk about
I give you Magic. Talk about one-on-one Magic.
Back in '96.
One-on-one.
Talk about '96. You said what?
One-on-one Magic and LeBron. Who gonna win?
LeBron, man. Come on, man.
No other player in that physical stature was playing that position. You know what I'm saying? And then at that, the fact that he played both ends of the court. Lately, his defense for the last 4 years or so just been absolute trash. LeBron, I hope you see this. Stop all that fucking cherry picking bullshit you be doing. But anyway, going
LeBron
back before
only had like two seasons of like elite defense.
After that,
he never really been an elite defender like that.
Yeah, he not far from Carlos Boozer lazy, but in his position when the time called for it, he would play defense, but he would be guarded by everybody on the court, man. Everybody had a shot at him on the court. So, I mean, you can't really. He in the league of his. He in a spectrum of his own when it comes to basketball. That's why I don't like all the comparisons with him and Jordan. It ain't really a fair comparison. You can't apples and oranges, man. Apples and oranges. You want to talk about Kobe and Mike? Sure.
Yeah, Kobe is a carbon copy of Mike.
Say it again.
Kobe is a carbon copy of Mike.
I mean,
so he could never be better than Mike then.
I hate to say it though, but it is. I mean, from look at the first 2 years in the league. When Mike got into the league, he was athletic, jumping out the gym. Kobe, what did he do? First 2 years in the league, dunk contest, athletic. Right. And as the years went on, the games evolved, and it's like the same player. I mean, you can't. Yeah. The mannerisms, everything.
And
he said, when he said he modeled his game after Jordan, he was absolutely being honest. The man ain't pulled no punches.
He's the only person. He's the only person in history that pulled it off.
Yeah.
And we all try to do it, but he did it.
Yeah, he did it. He did it well.
You couldn't do it anyways. Wow.
I think he had better shooting range than Mike, though.
Based off of my height, I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it anyway. You suck.
Hey, finally, now who is y'all Mount Rushmore? Y'all 4 greatest players in history in the NBA. Since y'all thinking about it, I'll give y'all mine. 1 Mike, 2 Magic, 3 Kareem, 4 Russell. And the reason why I put Magic over Kareem is because once Kareem went to the Lakers, he was pretty much the second fiddle to Magic Johnson. So Kareem, he was on the back 9 once he got to the Lakers because he was more like dominant in the 70s.
Yeah, he was.
Once he got to the Lakers, he was more on his downside. But so that's why I will always put Magic over Kareem. And plus, in the 70s, you had ABA, NBA. They was pretty much split up. So Kareem didn't play against the best players in the world. So that's my knock on him. But other than that, man, I mean, I think I got a decent.
So say it again. Rushmore. You said who?
Michael, Magic, Kareem, Bill Russell.
Wow, he just stayed in the old school, huh? Nobody in the last. They shooting. Nobody in the last 10 years, huh? I don't see how you can have a conversation that went on for 30-some minutes about LeBron versus LeBron and Michael Jordan and not put him on Rushmore. Shame on you, Rob. That don't even make any sense.
Oh, whatever, man. I mean,
I'm going to go Mike.
Okay.
I'm going to go LeBron.
Wait, LeBron number 2?
I'm not putting him in. Mount Rushmore don't have no levels, dude. They all – It's just my top 4. LeBron, Mike, Kobe, Shaq. Most dominant player in basketball ever.
Go Shaq.
Yeah. You can't argue that at all. the most dominant center in basketball, period. Yeah. Nobody could ever stop Shaq, period. And people say Rodman, but man, I don't want to hear that shit. If Shaq got the ball in the circle, it was 2 points against anybody.
Honestly, I actually hold Shaq like accountable for like putting or leaving championships on the table.
Yeah, whatever. Talking about basketball players.
He left so many chips on the table because he wouldn't stay in shape throughout the offseason, and he pretty much used the regular season to kind of build himself up for the playoffs. But that's why Kobe didn't want to play with his ass, because he really wasn't committed.
So are you saying when he was in his position and he was playing basketball, because he didn't train in the offseason, people were able to slow him down or stop him? Or
that has something to do with it.
When did anybody slow him down and stop him?
I mean, the Spurs did it. Utah did it. The Bulls did it.
You talking about in the finals?
The Rockets did it. I'm talking about right. Not only finals, but also in the playoffs and playoffs and finals. I mean, shit. Ben Wallace kind of neutralized Shaq back in 2004. Ben Wallace. Back in 03, shit, Tim Duncan.
No. He ain't neutralized Shaq. They ain't neutralized Shaq. I mean, this is a game changer. He had a defensive strategy design around stopping him. So I mean, again, that's a game changer. LeBron, game changer.
If he's on your Mount Rushmore, he should have been the type of player that could kind of overcome that.
You right? Overcome 3 people guarding you and fouling you intentionally. Come on, man.
He's the most dominant player ever.
I mean, you talk about dominant. All right, you talking about dominating players. Shaq was a dominating player. If you got to change the rules and change defensive strategies for one player, which you had to do for Mike, you have to do for LeBron, you had to do for Shaq. I don't even know who my other 4th person was.
You said Mike, LeBron, Kobe, and Shaq.
Mike, LeBron, yeah, all of them. You had to change your entire game strategy to play against.
Of course.
Okay, that's why they're that. Rushmore.
Okay, all right, Nelly, go ahead.
Man, I'm sitting here thinking, this shit is hard, man. But my first 3 for sure ends: Mike, LeBron, Kobe. See, this is where I get tricky when it comes.
That 4th is hard.
Now, my heart is telling me to go old school, and I want to go Magic. But the new school to me, and my logic is somebody that I feel like 10 years, 15 years from now.
There you go with this Zion bullshit.
People is going to look back on it. It's not even Zion, actually. People are going to look back on it like, man, he was a once-in-a-generation type of player.
And who was that?
I want to say Steph Curry, man.
I could argue that. I was floating that, too.
I want to say Steph Curry.
He is part of the greatest shooter ever. I mean, I can understand that logic. I definitely understand that.
But I'm guilty because I kind of want to put, like, Magic also transformed the position. You know, he was the first point forward, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't people his size going down the court passing for 10 or 6 a game.
Right.
You know, so I think I'm gonna go. This is because I think I'm gonna go Curry.
Curry.
I can see it.
I think I'm gonna go Curry.
I could definitely agree with that.
With an honorable mention to Magic, because I think Magic, or the Kareem, like there were some trailblazers. I also forgot Bill Russell. I mean,
man, we talking about legendary basketball players, man. It's hard to name. Just put four. You know,
actually,
you're gonna mention Bill Russell. I already did it for you. Don't worry about it.
But I mean, like I'm just coming from me personally. I mean, Bill Russell was the first black coach. He won 100 rings. You know, as a black man in his era, you can't take that away from the man.
Accomplished a lot. He definitely.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Bill Russell.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You know, I think I'm gonna go Bill Russell. So give me
like that.
Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Bill Russell.
All right. Ain't no wrong with
that. That was hard, man.
Yeah, I mean, just you know,
man, was so simple, y'all.
You was thinking about it already. You know what I'm saying? You threw it in our face, but I mean, I feel like your list sucks anyway. But anyway,